Hey everybody, it's me, Ashley Brooke. I wanted to come on for, I wanted to bring awareness, and now I don't usually do videos. I wouldn't have never thought to do a video, basically, on this topic, but because I'm experiencing it right now, I was like, wow, this is really important for loved ones, who have anyone who has autistic family members, or, if you're dating someone that's autistic, or if you have an autistic child. So this is very important information to know. So I'm just going to share this with you, even though it's something that I don't like to usually share. But and it's because it hits so deep, for an autistic person. So I am. Most people would say, most people would consider me. They would use the term, high masking, high functioning, and this is exactly the reason why I don't agree with those terms. Just Exhibit A. I'm busy right now. Thank you. Bye. So that's my daughter. So for those of us who they say, oh, okay, they're high functioning, they're high masking, oh, you can't really tell that they're autistic. Okay. That's because we're pushing through a lot of our sensory issues and our issues, we're just engaging neurotypicals on the daily, We're pushing through a lot of things that are making us uncomfortable, a lot of things that we don't understand, and a lot of things that are either discriminatory, that we have to just act like it's okay, and there's certain things that most people can do. You're okay. Most things that people can do, and it's 1 second. I have to help her. You're fine. I know, but you're okay. That noise is not helping anything. You see, so right now, as you guys can tell, I cannot deal with noise at all. Most people will say that I'm high functioning, high masking, whatever. But we're pushing through a lot of things, a lot of issues that we're having that nobody can see, but that we're going through, okay? And we're pushing through it and being able to keep up, and we go so hard because we don't want to fall behind. So sometimes we're actually doing more than a neurotypical would be able to get done and keep up with. But there always is going to come a time where we've been doing it so consistently, and eventually we end up having this thing called, it's a term called a social hangover, or they call it a shutdown. I've heard some other autistic adults call it a burnout, they call it. But what we're referring to is not like your typical, can you sit down, ma'am? Okay, sit down. So what we're referring to is when we're keeping up and we're meeting the expectations of neurotypicals, in our life, and then, keeping up with society. And then it gets to a point where if it doesn't, if we don't have a break time, a time to, you're laughing at me? And we don't have a time to be alone, take a break from all the high demanding. It is mama. But we don't have a break to shut that high masking off once in a while. We end up getting very overwhelmed with everything. All of our sensories start to get bothered. People coming close to us, noises, even my poor daughter, even her crying or trying to grab onto me for me to pick her up can become overwhelming. Okay, it's so important. And the reason why I say it's so important that people know this is because when people expect you and they see that you are doing, above and beyond, they're like, oh, this person got it. If that same person doesn't take a moment, have their couple of days off from the rest of the world, shut it off, and have some time to just be alone, they can actually become so overwhelmed that their processing will start to shut down, and then that person that was super effective is no longer effective at all. Nothing's getting done. Hygiene's neglected, everything's neglected, and starts to affect us like that. So this is why I say that's the dangers of high masking all the time, and this is the most messed up part about it all, is that Sure, an autistic person can know when it's time for them to take a break. Like, okay, I can't handle it anymore. Things that were, I was able to enjoy before are now making me feel agitated, and I can't do it. The problem with that is that the rest of the world still expects you to keep up with it. And when you start to express that you need a moment, they're like, oh, you're making it up. There's nothing wrong with you. Oh, you're making an excuse. And they think that you're lying about your autism. And that's super unfair. It's discriminatory, for sure. And then that autistic adult is not getting the help that they need. What happened to you? And that's what I experience. I go through this all the time because I have to high mask all the time because I have 2 small children that also need my help. So I don't think that it's fair for an autistic mother who has autistic children especially to be expected to perform 1,000% every second, Unfortunately, I live with the circumstances where the children depend on me and I have to just keep going, until things get stable, and I'm almost there. I just went and I'm looking at property now. I have my Section 8. I have my IHSS appointment today to get funding to take care of them. And got my son's paperwork settled for his transportation for school since we have to relocate since that's a discrimination issue. So this is what for an autistic adult, it's a lot. But what I'm dealing with today is a lot. But they're my children, so I'm going to do it, And I know I have a bunch of people out there, my daughter. I have a bunch of people out there who are believing me and they're supporting me, encouraging me to push through. And I am. But I just thought it would be helpful for other family members with autism. My daughter's wild. No tapatio for you, ma'am. So I thought it would be informative. It was like I was having a very stressful day, getting a lot done, and some of my friends had messaged me and they're like, oh, where have you been, so you're alive. And I was like, I've been taking care of a lot of stuff still, but I haven't posted because I've been talking to, resources and funding and meeting case managers and social workers and property owners and stuff, trying to figure out what I need to get done. That a lot has taken a lot out of me. So for me to come out here and make a video on top of it, I think I just started feeling myself just sort of retract and don't really want to get ready or do anything. Just why I look a little troll today, but I was like, you know what? F it, I need to go on there and share this because it's very real for us autistic people. So, it's not easy being autistic, okay, adult, especially when you don't have any support. Definitely not easy being an autistic mother with autistic children. It's very hard. But we are managing, we're pulling through, and I wanted to bring light for other autistic adults. Just because we seem like we got it all and we're high functioning, whatever you want to say. I don't like that term, but that's why they will determine it. It's still just as hard. We're just pushing through it. But eventually, if you don't give us a break, we're gonna end up having a meltdown type of moment where it doesn't look the same. A meltdown doesn't look the same. Let me put it right here. Don't get mad. A meltdown doesn't look the same in adults sometimes with autism. A meltdown can be us getting very angry, very irritable, and everything bugging us, and us snapping at people, It can show in different ways. So, my daughter's having a meltdown of her own, so I'm going to get going before I have my own meltdown. But I wanted to bring awareness. It's very real. If you have autistic family members, give them a break. If they're pushing through and they seem like they're doing really well, still make sure that you help them schedule and make it plan breaks for them, because consistently the whole time they're gonna flip out. Trust me, they're gonna flip their lids. So yeah, my baby don't need me. I gotta go, guys. I hope the video helped though. Bye.